All right, let's talk about what's rapidly evolving into one of the most captivating quarterback storylines in the entire NFL. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. More specifically, we're talking about Shedeur Sanders. Now, let's rewind the tape for a second. If we're being honest, most people believed Shedeur was a first-round lock. That was the consensus, the buzz, the projection, the expectation. The name recognition, the college resume, the bloodline, all signs pointed to a top 32 selection, and then crickets. First round? Nope. Second? Nada. Third? Still nothing. Fourth? Silence. It wasn't until the fifth round that we finally heard his name called, and not even by a team in desperate need of a quarterback. No, it was the Cleveland Browns who had already taken a quarterback earlier in the third round. So yeah, the pick caught a lot of people off guard. It seemed totally out of left field, but the Browns doubled down and said it was all about value, and grabbing Shedeur in the fifth round was, in their words, a steal. And you know what? They might actually be right. When the selection went down, most of us assumed, okay, cool, camp arm, maybe practice squad material, maybe QB3 if he flashes a bit. Let's not forget, he was listed fourth on the depth chart. Not first, not second, fourth. That's a steep climb in any organization. But then the Browns coaching staff flipped the entire narrative. They publicly declared it's an open competition, 4 quarterbacks, equal opportunity. That right there changed everything. Because let's be real, how often do you hear that about a fifth-round rookie? Especially when he's stacked behind a Super Bowl MVP like Joe Flacco, a former first-rounder like Kenny Pickett, and a higher pick in Gabriel. That moment shifted my entire perception of Shedeur Sanders. Honestly, when the pick was first made, I didn't think he'd survive roster cuts. I'm just keeping it real. I figure he's not going to get the reps. He's not going to get the snaps. They're loaded at QB. No way they waste time developing a fifth rounder. But then the tape started rolling. Now, sure, it's only minicamp. It's OTAs, no live bullets. But every single clip that's come out, touchdowns, tight window throws, poise, confidence, a quarterback who looks like he belongs. And that's the wild part. Because rookies taken that late, they're not supposed to look this sharp this early. The stakes? Nothing less than the future of the franchise. As June minicamp kicks off, head coach Kevin Stefanski and his staff are laser-focused on a high-stakes task, identifying who will command the huddle when week 1 arrives. Sounds simple until you look at the contenders. Veteran Joe Flacco is the current frontrunner. With years of battle-tested NFL experience, postseason poise, and a sharp grasp of Cleveland's offensive system, Flacco offers leadership and reliability. He knows the playbook like the back of his hand, and that edge alone gives him an early advantage. But don't get too comfortable. This isn't a one-man race. Enter Kenny Pickett, the former Steelers first-rounder whose name hasn't garnered much attention this offseason. Yet, his physical tools, arm strength, athleticism, and above-average football IQ make him an intriguing option, but inconsistency continues to cloud his chances. He's in the running, but climbing a steep hill. And then it gets spicy. 2 rookies are crashing the party, and both bring explosive upside. Dylan Gabriel, out of Oklahoma, has quickly turned heads in minicamp. His mobility, off-playbook retention have impressed coaches. He's the kind of young QB who, with the right momentum, can change a franchise's fortunes almost overnight. But it's Shedeur Sanders who's become the epicenter of excitement in Cleveland. Drafted in the 5th round out of Colorado, many labeled him a developmental project, but if you've seen his tape or his sensational OTA performance, 3 touchdowns on 7 of 9 passing, you know he's much more than that. This is a quarterback with NFL bloodline, championship pedigree, and raw passing talent. He's not just making throws, he's commanding attention. Yet here's the twist. Despite the buzz, Sanders hasn't been getting first-team reps. The coaching staff appears cautious. Some call it smart development. Others see it as doubt. Former Browns head coach Eric Mangini recently poured gas on the fire, saying the hype train in Cleveland is so ridiculous, it exploded the second he got here. Stefanski's just trying to slow it down. That quote captures the current split among Browns Nation. Palpable excitement versus grounded skepticism. But Sanders? He's not rattled. His focus is unwavering. Earn every rep, every moment, every ounce of trust from his coaches. He's showing humility, maturity, and laser-sharp discipline, the exact traits that turn underdogs into legends. And the opportunity is real. If Sanders continues to shine during training camp in the preseason, don't be surprised if he leapfrogs Flacco or Pickett. Stefanski has made it clear this is an open competition, and the final verdict may come down to the wire. So what does all of this mean for the Browns' 2025 season? Everything. Quarterback is the most vital position in all of football. And this isn't just about who starts. It's about who can carry the identity, the momentum, and the dreams of a fan base hungry for glory. It's about legacy, so buckle up, Cleveland, because the quarterback war is just getting started. And the outcome could define the Browns' destiny for years to come. If you love the Browns, subscribe now, join the movement, and stay ahead of every breaking headline. A franchise quarterback can change everything. And right now, the Cleveland Browns are closer than ever to solving the NFL's most elusive puzzle. With a roster loaded with talent. Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, David Njoku, and a battle-tested offensive line. The only missing piece is the right man under center. And this quarterback race, it's about more than just who starts. It could determine whether the Browns finally take that leap from contender to champion. If Joe Flacco wins the job, you get a calm, seasoned veteran who brings leadership, poise, and clutch decision-making in tight games. But if Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel defy the odds and capture the role, we could witness the birth of a new offensive identity, fast-paced, dynamic, and unpredictable. Zooming out, this moment is part of a larger story. Browns fans have endured years of rebuilding, heartbreak, and quarterback roulette. Since the days of Bernie Kosar, Cleveland has been chasing that one steady, game-changing signal caller. Baker Mayfield sparked a flicker of hope, but consistency proved fleeting. Now, this might be the most wide-open and competitive QB battle the franchise has seen in over a decade. And it's happening in the AFC North, one of the most brutal divisions in football. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are loaded and dangerous. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are perennial playoff threats. Mike Tomlin's Steelers never fade, and now have Kenny Pickett climbing the ladder. So no, this battle isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a high-stakes showdown in a division where every snap matters. This season is a turning point. Cleveland has made major investments through the draft and free agency. The roster is deep. The coaching staff is sharp, but the quarterback, that's the keystone. If they lock it down, the sky's the limit. On paper, this team has the firepower to push deep into the playoffs, but execution begins... Okay. If executed, it was all catered to chaos. Let's break down the contenders. Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl winning veteran with over 40,000 career passing yards, Flacco brings experience, leadership, and a calm pocket presence. While his arm strength has dipped and mobility is limited, his mastery of the offense and ability to deliver under pressure make him a stabilizing force. Kenny Pickett, a former first-rounder with upside, Pickett put up over 4,300 yards and 42 TDs in his final college season. Or is this just another calculated move in our relentless pursuit of that elusive Super Bowl? Grab your jerseys, Dog Pound, because we're about to dissect this situation with true Cleveland grit. Let's dive into the headline that's sending shockwaves from Lake Erie to the tailgates at First Energy Stadium. Sports Illustrated just dropped a piece that's got the entire Dog Pound talking. Cleveland may be entertaining a blockbuster trade involving none other than Denzel Ward. This isn't some clickbait speculation. It's a scenario that could restructure our roster, reshape the AFC North landscape, and leave ripple effects well into the future. Let's break it down. Denzel Ward isn't just a player, he's Cleveland royalty. Born in Macedonia, Ohio, a star at Nordonia High, a Buckeye standout, and since being drafted 4th overall in 2018, he's been a cornerstone of this franchise. Ward is a 4-time Pro Bowler, most recently in 2024 when he notched 49 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a league-leading 19 pass breakups. At just 27, he's still in his prime, shutting down the likes of Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs with surgical precision. And let's not forget, Ward is locked in through 2027 on a $100,500,000 0 cents deal, the highest paid cornerback in the NFL when he signed in 2022, with over 71 million grams, 0 cents guaranteed. That's our guy, Dog Pound. So, why trade a star like Ward? It all comes down to timing, context, and hard decisions. The 2024 season was brutal. The Browns finished 3-14, dead last in the division, an epic fall from the 11-6 playoff team we cheered for in 2023. That year, our defense was dominant, leading the league by allowing just 270.2 yards per game. Ward, along with Greg Newsome Tech and Martin Emerson Jr., formed one of the league's most feared cornerback trios. But 2024 told a different story. The defense collapsed to 19th in the NFL, giving up 342.1 yards per game. The offense sputtered with QB instability, injuries, and a lack of explosive playmakers. Now, Cleveland holds the second overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and GM Andrew Berry is at a critical crossroads. Here's the cap crunch. Last offseason, the Browns extended Myles Garrett through 2030, making him the highest paid non-QB in the league at $40 million, 0 cents per year. Meanwhile, Deshaun Watson's $230 million 0 cents guaranteed contract is still devouring cap space like a runaway freight train. That's why Ward's name is being floated. A potential trade could free up millions in cap room and net the Browns a premium draft pick. With younger talent like Newsome, 25, and Emerson, 24, still on rookie deals, the front office might see an opportunity to remain competitive in the secondary while planning for the future. The mock trade that's got fans divided, Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport proposed a hypothetical that's stirring up intense debate. The Browns send Denzel Ward and a 6th-round pick to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for the 24th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Minnesota went 14 through last year, but ranked 28th in pass defense. With Byron Murphy Jr., Stephon Gilmore, and Shaquille Griffin all hitting free agency, Ward would instantly upgrade their secondary and fit seamlessly into DC Brian Flores' aggressive man-to-man scheme. For Cleveland, that 24th pick could unlock several strategic options: draft a future franchise QB like Cam Ward or Carson Beck-Shore up the offensive line with a blue-chip left tackle, package the pick in a larger deal to land a young offensive weapon. But let's be real. And here's where it gets interesting. If Shedeur goes out in the preseason and performs even half as well as he has in practice, how do you not seriously consider giving him the reins? What are we waiting for? If he balls out, start him. Let the kid ride. Now, I know some people are saying, pump the brakes. He hasn't even taken first-team reps yet, and that's true. That's a valid point. Maybe he needs time. Maybe he benefits from sitting, watching, learning, but man, the upside, the electricity he brings, it's unmistakable. Let's call it like it is. Dylan Gabriel might have gone earlier, but raw talent, it's not even close. Shedeur's got the arm strength, the pocket feel, the composure, and most importantly, he's got the it factor. That's something you can't teach. You either have it or you don't, and Shedeur's got it in spades. Now, of course, there's politics involved. Draft capital matters. Coaches have to justify their decisions. There's hierarchy in the locker room. But here's the truth. If Shedeur keeps stacking good practices and starts cooking in live action, none of that matters, because the film doesn't lie. Even Deuce Staley said it. We're still in pajamas. But when the pads go on and it's full speed, that's when I'll really see what he's made of. And if he shows out under the lights in preseason, then Cleveland's got a real decision to make. So, yeah, Shedeur might be listed as QB4 on the chart, but that's not a reflection of his ability. That's just how the league works. It's about draft slots, not skill. But now that the coaches are saying this is a fair fight, my expectations completely flipped. If this is a true competition and Shedeur's getting legitimate reps, then I'm calling it now. He's more talented than Gabriel, more explosive than Pickett, and the only guy who's got a legit edge is Joe Flacco. And that's purely based on experience. You can't fake 2 decades in the league, but how long can Shedeur close that gap with his raw athleticism, high-level instincts, and uncoachable talent? And that's why, suddenly, the whole NFL world is watching the Cleveland Browns in June. When was the last time that happened? Usually, the Browns make headlines for dysfunction, or Deshaun Watson drama, or fans bracing for another wasted season. But now, it's all about a rookie quarterback, a 5th-rounder. A non-starter who somehow has the league buzzing. That tells you everything you need to know about the kind of shockwave Shedeur Sanders is sending through the NFL. And if he keeps climbing, Cleveland might just have its next franchise quarterback, and no one saw it coming. His upside is real. Shedeur Sanders, the wild card, drafted in the 5th round, labeled a project, but he's already proving the doubters wrong. With a gunslinger mentality, impressive college pedigree, and NFL lineage, Sanders has flashed elite instincts and next-level confidence. During OTAs, he threw 3 touchdowns and completed 7 of 9 passes, enough to stir the fan base into a frenzy. Yet controversy brews. Despite Shedeur's strong performance, the coaching staff is easing him in, giving him fewer first-team reps. Some call it smart development, others call it hesitancy. Former Browns HC Eric Mangini weighed in, "This hype train in Cleveland is so ridiculous, it exploded the second he got here." Stefanski's just trying to slow it down. While Sanders remains unfazed, he's all in, patient, focused, and determined to earn every rep. And as training camp looms, the stakes couldn't be higher. The coaching staff will be evaluating more than arm strength or mobility. They're watching for leadership, mental resilience, and the ability to handle the pressure cooker that is the NFL spotlight. This QB competition is about more than talent. It's about consistency, maturity, and the ability to deliver when it counts. Across the league, teams are searching for their next franchise quarterback, and the Browns' journey reflects that very pursuit. From fleeting hope to painful resets, Cleveland has waited long enough. That's a painful hit for a team walking the tightrope between retool and rebuild, and don't let injury chatter fool you. Despite past concussions and bumps, Ward's been remarkably durable, missing just 10 games over the last 4 seasons and playing at least 12 each year. He also led the league with 19 passes defended in 2024 and still got snubbed for All-Pro honor. That's elite production by any standard. Thank you, guys. See you next video.